This is the Business Blackbook, where billion-dollar empires are built and collapse. You are watching a video right now, and you have no idea if the person speaking to you is real. That is not a hypothetical. That is the world we live in today. A technology exists right now that can take any face, any voice, any human being, and recreate them so perfectly that your own brain cannot tell the difference. It has already been used to steal money from businesses. It has already been used to destroy reputations. It has already been used in a war zone, and it is getting more powerful every single day. Today we are going to break down exactly what deepfakes are, how they actually work, why they are dangerous in ways most people do not fully understand, and most importantly, how you can identify them and protect yourself. This is not science fiction. This is the most misunderstood technology of the 21st century. And by the end of this video, you will understand it completely. Let us start from the very beginning. The word deepfake is made up of two parts. Deep, as in deep learning, a branch of artificial intelligence. And fake, as in fabricated, something that is not real but is designed to look real. At its core, a deepfake is a video or audio recording in which a person's face or voice has been replaced by an artificially generated version of someone else, so convincingly that it is nearly impossible to detect with the naked eye. Now you might think, people have been editing videos for decades. What makes this different? The difference is the level of realism and the accessibility. Traditional video editing required studios, expensive software, skilled professionals, and hours of work. A deepfake can now be created by a single person sitting at a laptop using free tools in under an hour. That shift is everything. So how does it actually work? The technology behind deepfakes is built on something called a Generative Adversarial Network, or GAN. Do not let that term intimidate you. The logic behind it is actually quite elegant. Imagine you have two people. The first person is a forger. Their job is to create fake paintings that look like originals. The second person is a detective. Their job is to examine each painting and decide whether it is real or fake. Every time the detective catches the forger studies the mistake and tries again. Better this time. More convincing. The detective gets sharper too. So the forger has to keep improving. This cycle repeats thousands of times until the forger becomes so good that the detective genuinely cannot tell the difference anymore. That is exactly how a GAN works. Two artificial intelligence systems running simultaneously. One generates the fake image or video. The other evaluates it and reports flaws. The first one learns from those flaws and tries again. After thousands of these cycles, the result is a deep fake so refined that it passes human inspection. And here is what makes this truly powerful. The AI does not need thousands of professionally shot photographs to learn from. It can work from social media pictures, public videos, Instagram posts, LinkedIn profile photos. The more images available online of a person, the better the deepfake becomes. Which means anyone with a significant online presence is a potential target. Now let us understand the scale of this problem. A company called Sensity, which specializes in tracking visual threats, recorded over 85,000 deepfake videos circulating online just a few years ago. That number has grown dramatically since. The vast majority of those videos were non-consensual, meaning the people in them never agreed to be there. Their faces were placed into fabricated scenarios designed to harm them, humiliate them, or destroy their credibility. But deepfakes have moved well beyond personal harm. In March 2022, a video was posted on Facebook showing the president of Ukraine encouraging his soldiers to lay down their arms and surrender. It spread rapidly. It was broadcast on a hacked news website as breaking news. The Ukrainian president had to personally release a counter video just to prove to his own people and the world that he had never said those words. Think about what that means for a moment. In the middle of an active conflict, a deepfake was deployed as a weapon. Not a physical weapon, an informational one. designed to collapse morale, designed to create confusion at the worst possible moment. This is no longer about embarrassing celebrities. This is geopolitical warfare using artificial intelligence. And the financial damage is just as real. In 2019, the Wall Street Journal reported a case where the CEO of a British company received a phone call from who he believed was his boss, the head of the parent company. The voice was calm, familiar, authoritative. It gave him clear instructions to transfer 220,000 euros to a specific account immediately for an urgent business matter. He did it. The voice was fake, generated entirely by artificial intelligence. The scammers had used audio deepfake technology to clone the voice of the company's executive so convincingly that the CEO had no reason to doubt. 220,000 euros, gone in a single phone call. And this type of fraud is accelerating as biometric security systems grow, as banks use voice recognition, as companies adopt facial verification for access. Deepfakes become a direct attack on the infrastructure of trust itself. Now let us address the misconceptions. Because there are several things people commonly believe about deepfakes that are simply not accurate. The first misconception is that deepfakes only target famous people. This is completely false. Yes, politicians and celebrities are high-profile targets. But ordinary people are being targeted every single day. A mother in Pennsylvania used a deepfake to try to get a teenage girl removed from her daughter's cheerleading squad. A regular employee can have their face placed in a fabricated video to get them fired. A student can be framed using a manipulated clip. The technology does not discriminate. The second misconception is that you can always tell a deepfake by how it looks. People assume there will be obvious glitches, blurry edges, strange distortions. And yes, early deepfakes had those flaws. But the technology has advanced significantly. Today's deepfakes are often visually seamless. The tells are subtle, sometimes invisible entirely. The third misconception is that deepfakes are purely destructive. There are legitimate applications. Medical training videos, historical documentaries that recreate figures from the past, accessibility tools that help people with speech disabilities communicate, films that de-age actors or recreate deceased performers with family consent. The technology itself is neutral. The ethics depend entirely on how it is used. The fourth misconception is that the legal system can handle this. In reality, the legal system is severely behind. In Malaysia, a politician accused of misconduct in a video claimed it was a deep fake. Experts were divided. The courts were confused. The truth became genuinely difficult to establish. This is what researchers call the liar's dividend. The existence of deepfakes now gives any guilty person a plausible excuse. Even when a video is completely real, a clever defendant can introduce doubt simply by claiming it was fabricated. Justice becomes harder to achieve. So now the most important question. How do you identify a deepfake? There are several methods, both for the average viewer and for professionals. The first thing to look at is the eyes. Eyes are one of the hardest things for AI to replicate naturally. Early deepfakes blinked much less frequently than real humans. More advanced deepfakes sometimes show unnatural eye movement or a slight glassy quality in the gaze. When you watch a video, pay attention to whether the blinking feels natural. Does the person blink at a normal pace? Do the eyes reflect light consistently? The second area to examine is the edges. Look at the hairline, the jaw, the ears, the boundary between the face and the neck. In deepfakes, these transitions often carry subtle artifacts. A slight blurring, a faint shimmer, an unnatural smoothness where the skin meets the background. It is often more visible when the subject turns their head or moves quickly. The third signal is audiovisual mismatch. Sometimes the voice and the lip movement do not align perfectly. Slight delays, words that do not fully match the mouth shape. Inconsistent audio quality where the voice sounds slightly processed compared to the background noise. This is particularly useful for audio deepfakes where the voice has been cloned. The fourth method involves lighting and shadows. Real faces cast shadows that follow consistent physics. In deepfakes, the lighting on the face sometimes does not match the lighting in the background. The shadows fall in inconsistent directions. The skin texture under different light conditions can look unnaturally smooth or inconsistently rendered. The fifth and most reliable method is context verification. Before believing anything in a video, ask yourself these questions. Where did this video come from? Is it published on an official verified channel? Has it been reported by multiple credible news sources? Does the content of the video seem consistent with what this person has said or done publicly before? If the answer to any of these questions creates doubt, treat the video with serious skepticism. For businesses and institutions, there are now AI-powered deepfake detection tools. Companies like Microsoft and several cybersecurity firms have developed software that analyzes videos at a pixel level to identify signs of AI generation. These tools are not perfect, but they are improving rapidly. Now the deeper question: what should a financially aware, intellectually aware person actually understand from all of this? The first understanding is about trust infrastructure. The entire modern world runs on trust in information. We trust news videos to show us reality. We trust phone calls from familiar voices. We trust visual evidence in legal proceedings. Deepfakes attack the foundation of that trust. And once trust in information erodes, everything built on top of it becomes unstable. Financial systems, democratic processes, personal relationships, all of it depends on our ability to verify reality. The second understanding is about digital literacy. In the same way that financial literacy became essential in a world of complex financial instruments, digital literacy is now essential in a world of synthetic media. Understanding what deepfakes are, how they are made, and how to identify them is no longer optional knowledge. It is a basic survival skill for navigating the modern information environment. The third understanding is about personal vulnerability. If you have photographs online, if you have videos on social media, if you have a voice recording anywhere accessible, you are already potential source material for a deepfake. This does not mean you should disappear from the internet, but it does mean you should think carefully about your digital footprint and understand the risks. The fourth understanding is about institutional response. Governments and technology companies are beginning to respond. The United States government established a deepfake task force specifically to address AI-generated fraud. Several countries are passing legislation to criminalize malicious deepfake creation. Social media platforms are building detection systems. The response is slow, but it is happening. The technology itself will not disappear. It will only become more sophisticated, which means the correct response is not fear. It is preparation, understanding, and a healthy skepticism toward any information that feels designed to provoke a strong, immediate reaction, because that is often the signature of a deepfake deployed as a weapon. It is designed to make you react before you think, to share before you verify, to believe before you question. The best defense is the one that has always worked against manipulation of any kind. Slow down. Ask questions. Verify the source. Think before you react. And with that, the Black Book closes. Subscribe, and we will open the next page soon.